Hello, everybody. I think we're live here already. Myself and Sandra are here. Sandra, you're in the UK. Where are you in the UK?
I'm in Derbyshire.
You're in Derbyshire right now. So, Sandra, I'm just already excited just from us talking before we kind of went live to share, because I've been hearing tidbits and I get these messages from Sandra over the last while saying, this happened and oh my God. But I want to kind of just like get you back to like when you first found me and what was going on for you in your world at the time when you first decided to join the program.
Okay. So I'd been following you on Facebook. You'd popped up on my Facebook for whatever reason. I had started following your page and obviously your little videos and different things you were doing. And at the time, my husband and I were in business together, and I'm also in business with my sister, but my husband's business was struggling and he was struggling individually. And there were lots of areas of our lives that just weren't right. Like us, our relationship wasn't great because of the business, and everything in our lives, we blamed it on the business. And he had taken a temporary contract with a company to bring in extra money into the house because the business wasn't providing enough for us as a family. Mm-hmm. And when he was on this temporary contract in the November of 2018, they then said to him, can you stay a bit longer? So he stayed a bit longer, and then we had Christmas, and over the Christmas holidays we had decided it was time for his business to go and he needed to get a permanent job. So that was kind of the next thing, and he went back after Christmas and they offered him a permanent position. They offered him his own contract to run for himself as a site manager, and he had his own team under him, and it was like a promotion, as in from where he was as a temporary person going into a full-time position. So he took the job, he took his own site, that was great. And within about 3 months of that, he got another promotion. And again, he was chuffed. And so all that was going really well for him. And we were kind of wrapping up the other business in the background, knowing it had to go. And then in January 2020, he's moved companies and he's gone into a more senior role again, much, much bigger money, like double the money he was on 18 months ago when he first started out with the other company. And basically things have just really progressed for us as a family in loads of areas. So the main one was obviously cash flow, money, his career. And I'm always conscious of watching the career area and making sure everything's right in it, because it's been phenomenal for him. So I kind of felt, well, I've manifested so much for him. What about me? So I have my business, and obviously lots of things happened within it as well. Like helpful people. We got rid of people that weren't helpful in our business, basically. And we've got new people in who are really helpful, and I'm really grateful for them. And they're making a huge difference to us because I don't physically have to be there the whole time myself. Yeah. But also fame and recognition was a big area for us in the shop, because we've won awards now for 2 years on the trot. We've won bridal awards for our region, but we've also won the national award as well. So that was colossal. So I'm always watching the remedies and making sure, because, I have an 11-year-old son, so things get moved. Yes. But he gets the Feng Shui. He's very, very supportive of it. And different things, he checks himself because he knows he needs to have certain things a certain way. And things like keeping your windows clean is a big thing in our house, because they all kind of go, God, you're forever cleaning your windows. And he will say to me, Mom, the dog's been at the window and there's old dog snot across the window. It needs cleaning. Can I do it? And he'll do it.
I love it.
Things like the front door. My husband will go and clean the front door if he's feeling a bit under the weather or not quite in the right area.
So
clean the door.
I love that your husband is on board with this. Was your husband always on board with you joining this program?
Definitely not. He was the biggest skeptic going. When I did your, let's say your freebies like you're doing right now, I would obviously listen to it upstairs, and then I'd come down in the evening and say, oh, Patricia said this tonight, or Patricia said that tonight. And he'd go, yeah. And then when you were launching the course, I knew I had to do it. So I've done a lot of self-development work on myself. And as much as I felt I was learning how to balance myself, I knew there was something bigger. And it was like Feng Shui was the last piece of that jigsaw for me. And I realized the environment I was living in, if it wasn't balanced, then my husband wasn't going to be balanced and my son wasn't going to be balanced. So me being balanced on my own wasn't enough. So I came down to him and said, the course has been launched and I'm joining. And he said, with what? He said, we haven't got an arse in our trousers at the minute, basically, is what he was trying to say. And I said, well, I need to do it and I have to do it. And he said, so how do you propose to pay for it? And I said, I haven't got a clue, but I'm going to put I'm going on the budget scheme and I'm going to put it on my credit card and the money will come every month. I know it'll come. I have to have faith it will come. So 2 months into the program, obviously in the beginning when I got my report and everything, he was like, this is crazy. And he said, you're a crazy woman. And I said, that's absolutely fine. I'm happy to be a crazy woman, but just humor me and do this with me. And to be fair, he did. Like he drove me to get certain things that we need and different things anyway. And he supported me with it all. And he supported me with putting the whole plan together to send to you so you could give me my report. And he kept saying, this is ludicrous. And I kept saying, I know, but just go with it. Just have keep the faith. And, anyway, we did it. We put out all the remedies were in within a couple of months, like very quickly. And basically 2 months into the program, I emailed, I think it was at the time, it was Rachel, or maybe it was Jeanette, I can't remember which. And I just said, guys, next month when you're putting my payment through, can you just take the whole lot, please? Where my husband had a little bit of a bonus at the end of the month, the previous month. And he said, look, I've had this bonus. He said, if I give it to you, he said, you can pay for your course.
Oh my God, amazing.
That was amazing. So the course was paid really quickly. All the remedies were in and the energy in the house definitely shifted. And I can't say it was this or this. It was just a cumulative of loads of things. But we had big shift with my son. He's young and he struggled at school. He's an August baby. So he was always kind of the youngest in the class and the littlest in the class. And it meant for us, I felt he needed a tutor, but I couldn't afford a tutor. And it's like, I just said, I've got to do this for him. We organized a tutor. He went every week and the money came every week for the tutor. And, sometimes I'd open the post and there'd be a check from Ireland from my dad saying, put this to James's tutor. Or, the money just always showed up. And my husband, as I say, was settled in this job now. And then, as I say, in January, he moved and he's in a better job now. The shop is great. And we do really well at it. And just loads of things like friends, family, that they're all kind of like, so what's this thing you do? And I go, you wouldn't understand because you can't explain it to people. They, and people will always judge. That's the way I look at it. But as I say, my husband was the biggest skeptic and now he goes for it. He knows we have to keep the remedies in place. He's behind me 100% with it. And he's grown so much in so many ways. It's not just the job.
Yeah.
It's like the financial security now. We had a plot of land that we struggled with planning with for about 5 years. We had outline planning on it just about 3 or 4 months into the program. And we got the outline planning on it. And then we went to put the full planning in and then the English Heritage stepped in and they changed the style of the house and everything. So our dream home now became just a house. And I said to Adam, the barn is talking to us and it's telling us we're not meant to move. We have it balanced now. We feel happy here. Why are we trying to build something better? Because actually there isn't anything better. We're in it. And he just turned around and he said, yeah, the house is talking to us, isn't it? And I was like, absolutely. So we decided to put the plot in the market and it was sold within 10 days.
Yay!
Literally, like that'll all go through now in the new year, fingers crossed, but I don't see why it won't. Everything's easy. And we will then be able to pay back loans that we took out to obviously pay off things in the business to shut it down. And we will be financially free, bar our mortgage, hopefully by the turn of the Chinese New Year. That's my date. I want to put it in place. So yeah, everything just feels like it's moved steadily. And we've progressed so much and you don't realize how much you've progressed till you actually sit down and make a list, like when obviously I said to you last week, oh, I want to be an ambassador because so much has happened to me. And you're like, well, I know some bits, but what else has happened? And I'm like, well, actually there's loads. And then Adam and I sat with a drink on the weekend and I'm going, right, what else happened? I need to tell Patricia all the bits that happened. And there's like little things that have happened that didn't seem much at the time, but actually they were incidental in something bigger happening. And like relationships with family and like my in-laws, you know, sometimes like I'm the mad Irish daughter-in-law, but I have an amazing relationship with them again that I had 15 years ago when I first met them. And then kind of, you know, there was a time, and it was all to do with the business, because the business always made everybody on edge. And then now with the business gone, and they see the success of Adam, and obviously when the plot went on the market, I said to them, you know, I've done X, Y, and Z in the house, and I've done my space clearing, and I've done this, and I've done that, and my sound bowls and all, and they're going, you and that woo-woo. And I go, just go with it. And then we had an offer on the plot last week, and my father-in-law rang, and he said, are you accepting the offer? And I said, no. And he said, why not? And I said, because I've written a check to the universe for the amount of money I want. And that's the amount of money that we're going to get for the plot. And the next day we got that offer on the plot. And he's like, you're bonkers. And I'm like, I'm not bonkers. It works. It works.
It works.
So yeah.
It really does. It
works.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. I would love for you to share, like, what would you say to anyone who's considering joining? Because like you were here in the same place, like kind of listening to other people's success stories. And I'm like, just imagine, like, were you imagining being here going to be one of my success stories?
No, never in a million years. Like how, you know, it's incredible. Like I say, I didn't have the money. Like I really, truly can hand on heart tell anyone out there, I did not have the money to do this. And I was like, I just knew I had to do it. The gut instinct was there. I had to sign up. And I'm thinking, you know, I've done so much work on myself, but actually the key to it all was the house. And I kept saying to my husband, you know, you've built this house, so you know this house. And, you know, we've got to figure out what's not quite right in it and whatever. And he was going, well, like, what do you mean? Is it facing the wrong way? And I said, well, there is no right way and there is no wrong way. It's, if it isn't right, there's a remedy to fix it. But I don't know the remedies because it's not my thing. And that's why I need somebody's help to help me do it. And he was like, he thought I was bonkers. But now, like, from the biggest skeptic, he kind of goes, it works, guys, it works. You know, like, and his dad will say, has she moved some more stuff around to create some more finance? Or, you know, and they take the mickey out of me all the time. But actually, my sister-in-law messaged me last week to say, oh, you've had an offer on the plot and it's the right amount of money. And I went, yeah. And she went, oh, we're putting our house in the market. Can you come and sort it out? And I'm like, no, not really. You need Patricia to do that. You know, but so like people are starting to kind of see the change in us as a family, our perception on things. And we're just happier. Like everything seems to just flow. I can't say that we row, and we used to row a lot. Not row as in us personally, but it was always about something like the business or the money or somebody that was working for us wasn't pulling their weight or something. And we used to have friction. There is no friction in the house anymore. And, you know, like Adam will come home from work, and if he's had a really tough day, because he's got a really tough job now, and you know, it's long hours, and he leaves the house at 5 a.m. and he's not home till 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. at night and things like that. But he'll come to the door and he'll come in, and I'll say to him, park it at the door if it's been a bad day. And he'll go back out and he'll open the front door and he'll, you know, pretend he's parking it at the door and come back in. And yeah, just everything feels better in all areas, like creativity. I'm not a creative person. I haven't got an artistic bone in my body, but we've been creative with things like upcycling furniture and things like that, because we mightn't be able to go out and buy what we wanted, but we'd upcycle things and be a bit more creative. And my son is very creative, and his artistic flair has really come on. Okay, that's probably age as well, but he's so arty, and he'll sit down and he'll draw for hours and be quite content to do that. And knowledge, like I just think his tutor has added so much to him, and his confidence. Like he's doing the lead role in the song at school for Christmas, and I'm like, God, I'd never in a million years have seen him do that. And he's brought his guitar in, and he doesn't even play the guitar properly, but he can play enough strings to get him through this song, whatever it is. And it's like, Mom, I'm the lead singer. And I'm like, wow, because I didn't realize he could sing. And, you know, just, yeah, he's just loving it. And he'll say to me, are you doing a meditation tonight? Can I have one of your earphones? And he'll lie on the bed with me, and he'll have one earphone and I'll have the other. And so he's very supportive of me and my woo-woo and my madness, as my husband calls it, but he's supportive of it too. So yeah, it's great.
Thank you so much. Like, honestly, this is my favorite time when we are opening the doors to Powerhouse, because I get to like hear more stories from everybody, and I'm like, I just love it all.
Yeah, there's some
So
fabulous
good.
stories. There really is
So
some fabulous
good.
stories. And like the day we went to Dublin and did the retreat at Dublin, that was an amazing day.
Yeah.
And I brought a friend who was a complete skeptic, and she wasn't by the end of it. She got it. And you know, she got a message from her mom on her. We had some cards, and there was a card on her seat, and it was her mom's last words to her. And she was like, "That's the reason I'm here today." And I'm like, "Yeah, I just knew I had to bring you, but I didn't know why."
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it's not I knew why I needed to do it, and it was because I needed to balance my house, but I didn't know how I could do it because financially I couldn't afford it. But I had to forget about the how and believe in the why, and the money turned up.
I love it. I love that. Forget about the how and believe in the why. That I just like, that's so beautiful. And just in terms of like, how would you describe just the support that you've had in the community and from us as a team and everything for people like coming and joining an online program? What would you say?
Fabulous. So, I mean, there's the newbie calls, obviously. I still hook into them, and I'm definitely not a newbie. You know what I mean? I'm not a newbie, but I still hook in because there are certain times maybe you don't realize, you'll just hear something and you think, oh yeah, forgot that bit, or, you know, whatever. So the newbie calls are really good because obviously each time they're done, it's a new area, and it explains more and more in depth of what you need to do and all that. So they're really good. I personally love the astrology call with Rachel every month, but I loved astrology. Like long ago, a friend of mine was an astrologer, and she used to do the astrology on RTE, Thelma Mansfield and Derek Davis's show. And she was the astrologer, and she was one of my clients when I had the gym. And she did my reading for me for my 30th birthday. It was just powerful. It blew me away. So I've always had an inclination into the astrology. I don't really get it all. But I love it, and I'm intrigued by it. So I love Rachel's call if I can hook in. It's usually a day I'm at work, but I will try and catch up because I find it intriguing. I'm rubbish at remembering passwords. Hooking into things. I'm just really bad at technology. I'm surprised actually I've managed to get onto this and actually stay on. You know, I'm just rubbish at technology. And you just email your email address and you get an instant response saying, you know, we've received your email, you will get a reply ASAP, and you do. Like I say, when it came to the payment and I wanted to pay the extra and get rid of the bill kind of thing, again, emailed, it's done, sorted. So the communication has always been great. I obviously message you behind the scenes at times going, Patricia, guess what? And, you know, because I'm excited and I need to tell you something's happened. And I'm thinking, all these people that are in your program, if they all do what I do, crikey, you must never sleep. But it's just, you get this excitement and it's like, I need to tell you now. And I do, and I don't think anything of it. So yeah, I take the liberty of just private messaging you sometimes, which is probably not right, but I do.
We do have a wins Friday, every Friday a post where people can share their wins. And I'm always going through like, well, but it is interesting to keep tags of people because often people forget to tell me. So like what's happening.
You see, I wouldn't think to go into a Friday post.
I need to know and tell me what's happening.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Fabulous. The support has always been there. As I say, this is my second year. Obviously, I will be doing the third year. There's no question about it. Like, I'll just keep going every year and getting my report. I really feel a big pull to the whole thing. And I would love to myself go on and train to do this because I like helping people. It's not always about the finance, is it? It's about the buzz you get as well.
The buzz you get, yeah. It's
fabulous.
So gorgeous.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing your wins and all the success for yourself, for your husband, for your son. It's just amazing. And as we said, if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out and to message me, to message our team, to post in the group. Sandra said today, like, if you are inclined to join us, you know, don't worry about the how, focus on the why, because that is really the bigger picture and the rest just works out. And I've seen it just so many times with people messaging me going like, okay, I'm just going to do it and just trust. And it does. It's just really that trust element. So it's been so good to hear from you, Sandra, and to connect with you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here. I hope you enjoyed this interview. I'm sure you did. Listening to her amazing journey. Maria is asking, what does bonkers mean?
Oh,
so
a little bit crazy.
A little bit crazy. That's
as my father would say, a screw loose.
So good, so good.